Hey, call me Shape. And today's video is titled, Woman Flips as Her Child Support Gets Reduced. Let's get right into it.
I'm here today because I need some more money from baby daddy, okay?
Okay.
He's been doing a lot of social media stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, let me have some more money because my baby needs it. Oh, he's living his best life, okay?
How good is he living?
Oh, he's living good. He's going on trips after trips. He's flashing money, and he just recently flashed a little ring. I guess he gave one of his little chicks.
It sounds like she's bitter and just wants to get back at him. She didn't mention the kid once, but was sure to mention he was enjoying his life, which is unacceptable and only means he isn't paying enough child support.
I just need my money.
All right. So you need the money for your son, right?
Yes.
Okay, and it's not your money, it's your son's money.
I think I'm gonna put him in karate too.
She going too far, Nate.
You know what? You just came here to waste my time. So
I just want my son to be in everything. I just want him to be great.
It sounds like you want to tell me you want to put him in everything so you can get more money off of this man. And I'm sorry, I'm not here to play in your little petty games.
Sure,
and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. So you know what I'm going to do? Since you came here to waste my time, I'm going to make sure I don't waste any more of yours. I'm denying your request and dismissing this case.
Really?
Really, I am.
I can't believe this.
Well, I can't believe you came in here to play these games.
My son needs some money.
No, it sounds like you want the money, ma'am. Is there anything further?
My new husband is a fantastic provider. I do get an allowance, about $500 a week.
How much money does your husband make?
I'm really not sure. The car that he drives was about $200,000.
And you only get a $500 a week? You know what? That's not my business. That's not the reason I'm here.
His success has nothing to do with me or my daughter or our daughter. And I just want a little more help.
What we can do, ma'am, is make you pay more in child support.
Well, how much are we talking about?
We're going to base it off that $500 a week allowance that you make. Okay. So your child support obligation monthly comes out to $396.
Notice how he only wanted help for his daughter, while she wanted to get back at her ex using her kid as a shield.
I'm not sure why nobody wants to speak up about this, but I guess I'll be the one to do it. There is a serious shortage of attractive, eligible, mentally stable, emotionally available men. We need to get a search party together, figure out what has happened, where have they gone, and what do we do about this? Because it's a problem.
Look, I have said this before and I will say it again. There is no shortage of good men. It is simply that you don't see the men that are good men in your life as dateable. But they're probably good friends, like they're probably in your friend zone. And then for the good men that aren't in your life, it is because they're not looking to date. They probably spent far too long in a relationship that took advantage of their goodness. Those men are either working, they're either at home, or they're just hanging out with friends, or doing some sort of hobby in seclusion.
Nobody talks about this, but it is very difficult to be attracted to the person that is good for you. Like good on paper, right? Like they're good. Like you know that this is a good choice for you, but something is missing and you don't know what it is. It's that most likely you're looking for that chaotic adrenaline rush that you get when you like the person that is not good for you.
Honestly, just grow up. That's all this. I continue to hear women say nonsense like this. I mean, she even admitted it. She's saying pre-healing, it's hard to stop doing this behavior. Basically saying that women who do this are injured.
Where are the men who would wake?
Yeah, I like that. Grow up, right? Realize that what you might be attracted to is not necessarily good for you, right? My dad used to always tell me, he said, if you did heroin, you would love it, right? But that's no reason to do it, okay? That's a pleasure trap. And women get so deep into the pleasure trap, we have obesity rates going through the roof because women just love food, right? And then we have women that are single moms or never been married, never had a relationship, aging out the dating market because they only like hooking up with the guys that they enjoy, and those men take them to hell. Yeah. So that's why they're single. But I do want to touch on the fact that in the very beginning of this video, women were weaponized in the court, right? That's one of those double standards that sucks to be men. That a woman could take you to court and punish you. You let the judge, demand you pay more money because she's upset with you or because she looks at you and like, well, you shouldn't be enjoying your life. You shouldn't be happy. You shouldn't be going on trips. You should give me all your money for child support. And if the court systems would let them, they would do it. And that's what's so evil about this whole thing.
Just so they could be the man who wakes up next to you.
Well, I'm sorry to have to break it to you, but those men, they've already woken up and they've left. Because you see, men have now realized there's no real benefit to waking up next to you. We've seen that while you demand things from us, you offer little to nothing in return. At least not anything we can't already get without involving ourselves in a relationship with you. And on top of that, for decades now, y'all told us you didn't want us. Y'all told us you didn't need us. We heard you. And now we're off making a better life for ourselves. One that doesn't involve you. Would we like to have a great relationship? Sure, who wouldn't? But men have finally figured out that the risk simply isn't worth the reward anymore. And now that you guys are figured out that we figured it out, well, now you're wondering, where did all the men go? And then there's this.
Like, where are the men who would walk 500 miles?
And I would walk 500 miles. Now you know why I was never the lead singer in any of the bands I was in. Anyway, last I knew, they were raking in the royalties still from that song they created 30 years ago that I still can't get out of my head.
And then walk another 500 miles for a total of 1,000 just to fall down at your door.
No, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but there's no way in hell I'm singing that god-awful song to you. All kidding aside, the point I want to make is that women often want men to meet the expectations of things they hear in songs or see in the movies. As I frequently call it, they're searching for that perfect Disneyland prince, the one that doesn't actually exist, but yet they all think does and that they deserve. Men see it for what it is, an expectation of perfection, something no one can achieve. And knowing that, why would they enter into a relationship with someone who expects that of them? Someone who actually believes a man should walk 500, 1,000, even 1,000,000 miles just to be with them. Men are done playing these silly little games, ladies. Life is not a rom-com or some romantic song. Life is, well, life. And the completely unrealistic expectations that you've all set now, the higher standards, have reached a level of absurdity that men look at it and go, yeah, no more. We're done. Especially when they realize that they're not going to get anything in return, no matter how hard they work to woo you over.
Where are they at?
Well, to wrap this up, where they're at is sitting home or hanging out with their buds, playing video games, playing guitar, enjoying life. No longer having to deal with the drama, no longer having to deal with the financial drain of expensive dates, only to get ghosted shortly thereafter. No longer dealing with the ridiculous expectations, higher standards that you've all set. Ladies, I'm sorry to tell you, but men didn't create this situation. You did. But men have now seen it for what it is, and they're done and walking away. And the really sad part is, they ain't coming back anytime soon.
Surprise, surprise.
We are not coming back anytime soon. I think one of the bigger issues here, one of the biggest issues in all this, is that women want a high-value man to worship them. Yeah. Walk 500 miles and then another 500 miles and then just to be at my doorstep and then let me decide if I want to be with you. Who's that a great deal for? Oh, it's a great deal for you. Oh, you thought we build ourselves up to be valuable men just to validate you that you're so awesome that we trade the whole world for you. Yeah, okay. You know what's better than one beautiful woman? 2, okay? 3, 4. I'm sorry, ladies, but you can't compete with multiples by yourself. And I get it. You love your divine sexual strategy, which is monogamy. Monogamy is the strategy biologically for women, right? Get the best seed. But guess what men's biological sexual strategy is? Polygamy. Yeah. That's why we produce 300 million sperm cells a day. There's no way our creator thought to ourselves that one woman needs 300 million sperm cells a day, especially when she can only get pregnant once a year, right? So did he over-create men? Give us an abundance of sperm cells or reproductive gametes and gave you guys an a finite number of gametes, right? Because they say that women are born with all their eggs, and men, we produce brand new sperm every day. Why? That's pretty odd. God could have made that similar, but he didn't. Because we have two different sexual strategies. And I'll say this, right? Because I know a lot of women, their thoughts are, if I date a man, I'm going to make him wait 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months. You're going to claim that you're celibate, but you want all of our money and all of our resources up front and our time and attention. I get it. Yeah, that's what you want, right? Ridiculous, but that's what you want. Let me ask you this. If sex was taken off the table completely, do you think men would still want to date women? Like, if women no longer offered that, would men still want to date women? Would men still get married to women? The overwhelming answer is no. And just because a lot of you women were very promiscuous and you slept around in your younger years doesn't mean when you get older now that you got to make everyone wait and climb through your hula hoops because as a way to compensate for your bad decisions. Especially because now, as you're older, your sexual market value ain't the same as when you were 20. So when you should have been modest and preserving yourself and being celibate in your 20s, you were wilding out, riding the cock carousel. And now that you're actually aging out and you want to still try to get the best man you could possibly get, what do you want to do? Hold out, act like you're a born-again virgin to a man so he could value you? Ladies, these manipulation games don't work on nobody but simps. Simps. And the problem is y'all all women, don't get this confused, man. Women all want simps. The difference is they want high value men to simp for them. Something that a high value man would never do, because that would be an exact contrast to him being high value, right? In fact, the epitome of high value is being able to walk away and mean it from an insufferable woman, right? And have boundaries and don't let anybody cross it. But I won't lie, as a man, if you don't have your status and your money up, it's hard to set some strong boundaries, because at the end of the day, you know, we're weak to the flesh. So we have a high sex drive. We want to hook up all the time. And, you know, a lot of people, we're tired of using our hands. So we put up with women just so we get a chance to feel some different type of skin, you know? But as you get to my age, I'm about to be 37 in 2 weeks. Shout out to all my Capricorns, which, by the way, I don't believe in the zodiac sign. When I tell people what my sign is, I usually say, my sign is Jesus. Okay? I'm wearing it on my forehead. But my birthday's coming up on the 17th, and I'm going to turn 37. And I think to myself a lot, like, wow, you know, I didn't know I was going to be 37 with no kids and no wife and no long-term girlfriend. I'm very much single. Right? And I look at my life and I say, man, boy, am I lucky. Because if I was a woman, this would be horrible. You know what I'm saying? My younger sister, she got all her kids out the way before she hit my age. And in fact, I think her kids are going to be like 7, 5, and 3 this year. So she got it all out the way. And so she had 3 kids before I even had 1. But this is the privileged men that we have. This is the double standard that works for us, that we got more time. Not only do we produce 300 million sperm cells a day, but we produce them every day till the day we die. So we're never running out of time. And as long as you keep yourself healthy, you won't have to worry about being an old dad. I'm not worried about being an old dad. I'm not even worried about being old, because I'm going to be working out harder in my older years than I am now, right? So, I don't know. I think this whole child support, this whole dating epidemic that we're in, and, you know, everyone's taking each other to court, no one gets along. It's a tragedy, man. It's definitely a tragedy.
A female director behind a movie that focused on how society overlooks women gets overlooked by one of the most prestigious awards in cinema.
In the real world, you don't get participation trophies. Instead, you get rewarded based on how good of a job you do.
I don't give about privacy. Check his phone, check his laptop, check his computer, his work computer, his tablet. Check it all.
You need to be absolutely sure. And I will tell you why I advocate for this. 10 years ago, I was engaged to a man who, for the entire year that we were engaged, was giving me all of the signs that he was hiding something. I knew deep down in my gut that this man was cheating on me, but I had no evidence of it. The one thing I hadn't done, though, was I hadn't checked his phone. Now, I had the password to his phone, and I know in his mind he thought that by giving me the password that was somehow making him look more trustworthy, but he had this phone glued to his body like it was an organ. And when we first met, that phone used to go off constantly. I always heard texts come through, I always heard phone calls come through, his Snapchats, whatever. But all of a sudden, like maybe a month after we were together, he had silenced everything on his phone. I never heard any notifications come through. Then he started hiding his phone under the pillow at night. Now, when I go to sleep at night, my phone's on the charger, but he always had his phone under the pillow. But then Super Bowl Sunday comes around, and his team that he bet on won, so he got completely wasted and knocked the hell out in bed and had no idea that I had pulled that phone out from under the pillow. So I go through the phone, and he thought he was smart. He had deleted all the text messages and all of the pictures and video on his phone itself, but what he forgot about was the cloud. So I went through the cloud, and guess what I found? I found hundreds of photos and videos.
And we do not care what you found, because as a woman, you are retarded for going through a man's phone. It should be illegal. I believe it's actually a crime in some states now. Going through someone's phone is actually a crime. I don't know if it's a felony, but it should be. We should make you guys into felons. Let me explain something to you. Women, you guys are so hung up on the fact that, oh, I don't want to be cheated on. I don't want to be cheated on. I don't want to be cheated on. AKA, I don't want a man to live out his biological sexual strategy. We were born to be polygamous. But instead, you guys are trying to prove we're so bad for not going against our own biology. What did you prove? Okay, you got us red-handed. We want multiple women. Now what? As men have in the entirety of mankind. You know, and you women are been since that back then till now, you're still trying to force us into this feminized centric society where everything that a woman does is right and everything that a man does is wrong. So therefore, the woman is the standard, right? But that doesn't add up too well, because at the same time, you guys are trying to become boss babes. So there's a contradiction, because being a boss was traditionally a man's job. So which one is it? You guys are confused. You don't know if you want to be men. You don't know if you want to be women. You don't know if there's men acting like women are real women or not. We don't even know what a real woman is. All this confusion is why we're here. This girl's right here, right now, making a TikTok talking about, I caught my man. I caught him. You caught him being a man. You caught him being a man. Now what? Instead of trying to take the blame, the accountability, something that women never do, never take accountability. Instead of trying to say, you know, what caused this? Am I not giving you enough at home? Or am I like misbehaving? Instead of trying to figure out maybe there's something you guys could work on. No, you're just wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. I don't want to hear it. Cheating's a deal breaker no matter what. For everybody, for every woman, being a man is a deal breaker. Because guess what? I'm going to tell you just like this, and I'm a man. We want variety. There's not a single girl in this world that will be enough. This is why Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce. There's not a single girl that will be enough. Anybody has dated a beautiful woman and been with her millions of times, they'll tell you, it gets old. Everyone gets old. You know what I'm saying? Women would like to live this life where they're the most desirable person of all time. They'll never lose any desirability, and men will always want them and be begging on their knees for them. It just doesn't. That is a great fantasy. It doesn't work like that at all. And I wish that every woman would just, the minute they see me, they'll bend over and let me get to work. It doesn't work like that. But instead of me living my life, or you living your life based on reality, you live in delusion and I live in reality. I live in such a way where I know that, hey, look, and even me, I'm becoming a high-value man now. I know that just because I'm a high-value man doesn't mean people are going to throw themselves at their feet to me. There's still going to be girls that undervalue me. There's still going to be girls that overlook me. There's still going to be girls that don't even realize I'm high-value because I'm not maybe outwardly dressing like I'm someone that's high-value with the gaudy chains that some black men wear when they're successful. It's like every black man, when he gets successful, needs a big collar, big chain to show everybody he's got money. It's not something I really want to do. Do I want to get, I wear jewelry. I got chains and stuff. I'm not saying I got no chain, you know what I'm saying? I got good jewelry, but I might not fit the stereotype that a lot of women are looking for when it's time for them to choose a man. I'm not. And that's okay with me, But I say this to say that we all have to accept reality. It just seems like the more videos I watch, it just seems like women don't live in reality. Reality, their perception, their perspective is their reality. And their precepts are really off. You know what I'm saying? They need to get something to adjust their litmus test because it ain't it. That ain't it. And this is why I think I am single at 37. It's because I can meet a beautiful woman that got stones in her head, and I can meet an average woman that got stones in her head. A lot of women, there's really no incentive for women to be smart, unfortunately, these days. And I think it's really sad because it's impressive when a woman's brilliant. Like a Candace Owens, like a Tulsi Gabbard. When we have like a Ayn Rand, when we have brilliant women, it's really impressive. It's not like kinda, it's thoroughly impressive. Like, but there's no incentive for most women. The incentive that they think that exists is for them to become very good slick talkers. Because since words manipulate them, they think words manipulate us, and it doesn't. So women they develop all these very particular talking shit skills that don't do nothing for us. But in girls' minds, they're like, oh yeah, she ate. She told him. Listen. This is how I know you guys don't understand men. For men, well done is better than well said. We don't give a crap what you say. Anybody is liable to say anything. It's what you could do. What can you provide? What can you prove with your actions? I don't judge people by what they say. I judge people by what they do. But women judge people by what they say. They fall in love with their ears. They fall in love with the easiest way to manipulate somebody is through the tongue. The tongue can easily manipulate anybody. But when you watch what people do and they look at their ethics and their morals, that's how you judge someone. I don't know. I hope all women asking for more child support get denied like the woman in the beginning of the video did. Okay? And like this video, subscribe to the channel. Channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you over there.